and now we'll be looking at brokenness in the community.
Okay.
Yes. What does it look like? What is a broken community? What are we talking about?
Or what's coming to my mind when you say that?
What's coming to your mind?
I'm just thinking of our community, or our communities in South Africa, our South African society, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, how can we say we're not broken well as a society?
Are we?
Yo, I think we're broken. I think we're like,
Chopped.
we're in tatters, we're in pieces, we're in... Yeah, and why would I say that, hey? And maybe I'm gonna throw it back to you, just so you also think of the community you live in. Yeah? So brokenness or a broken community, what does it look like? My worry or my red flags are our young people. I worry that, when you want to think of the future of a country, to see a future, or when you think of the future of a country, you must look at the young people.
Yeah.
Why? Because yibo abazoschuba mos angithi. And look at our young people then. I worry about, and I'm not saying there's no good ones. There's many good, level-headed young people.
Yeah.
But they are overshadowed by all the issues that we see.
100%.
And maybe that's what is put in front of us. Maybe that's media. Somebody might say, no, good things are not broadcasted enough, and fair enough. But take away the media, my community, I don't see a lot of good. I see many young people. Ihabli, guys, is the end of us. Ihabli is the end of our lives. That coupled with the drugs, that coupled with the casual sex that we see, that add on alcohol abuse, alcohol misuse, and in the mix of all of that, there's HIV in our young people. So I worry that if you try to say like we are really going to bury our young if we don't change this brokenness, this broken pattern, or these broken patterns that we see as you walk down the road, So without going into much detail now, that's what community brokenness looks like to me, and I think it starts in the homes.
In the homes.
I really think it starts in the homes,
because every child is from a home. Nobody just from a home. So it starts from the dysfunction of that home.
For sure.
Because most of them, I feel like they have stories to tell. Stories which to somebody else sounds like excuses. Like,
true.
That sounds like an excuse. You can just decide to you don't want to be that. But not everyone is don't want to say equipped. But not everyone is exposed to help or to hope.
Hope. Which one? Yeah.
Because if you're going through something, and we all going through this as a community, like I have no one to look up to. The biggest person I can look up to, only Tavin.
Sure.
Where we go, like that's the one person now changing more. So that's the one person I can look up to.
Yeah.
And it's painful that people who actually make it out of small broken communities, they hardly come back. They come back for Christmas visits.
Yeah.
But I don't see how it can be fixed. I'm not saying it can't be.
Yeah.
I'm just saying from my perspective, I do not see.
I think it can.
How?
I think it can. Again, not to bring back the self a lot into this, but again, it does start with the self.
Yeah.
But this time we're saying community, so we are taking it into the home setup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How can it be fixed from the home? Whether you drink, or you engage in casual sex, or you do drugs or whatever, you come from a home, like you said. Where's your social capital? And what is social capital? Where's your family? The social capital are those people who are there to support you. Those are your social background. Those are your people. Those are your pillars. You stay with these people. How is no one, and I won't say how is no one not bothered. Parents are bothered. Those you live with are bothered. The problem starts when they start feeling helpless. When we enter into the space of helplessness, we then can't do anything. We're saying there's nothing that we can do. You as a mom, tell me about it. Yeah? You as a mom, your 12-year-old is not home at 8. How are you helpless? Why don't you go find her? Why is it happening for the 28th time? What is it that you're not doing? Because they're not going to stop by themselves. How are you as a parent not standing up to this situation?
I am my mail.
How are we actually enabling our children to be doing this? Because we are enabling them.
Start somewhere.
Yes, we enable them. Maybe you warn them. Probably threaten them even. And then they do it the second time. You have forgotten your threat. You don't do it. So you don't follow through with your threat.
Right.
They do it again. You start throwing your hands in the air like, Vera, you don't listen, Vera, you're disrespectful. Continue. You'll see where you end up. What have you done? Continue. You told me I can get on with it.
Words.
To me, I am 12. It looks fun. I've been coming back, so I'm not hurt. So yeah, you don't know. You sit here at home, so clearly you don't know that it is not as bad as you say it is, because I've been coming back. And you said I should continue. So I'm going to go right ahead. And I'm going to fall into all of these things. What have you done as a parent? You have given up and left this child to the sharks. You could have followed through with whatever threat and became consistent with, as I said, if they don't do this, if they don't come back home on time, whatever, I'm going to take their phone. Can you take the phone? Take the phone. Can you find things that which they're going to make them think again when they have to do something, because they don't want to lose 1, 2, 3. And I'm just saying, someone may say, no, but it's not as easy as that. My point is, we cannot be held at ransom by teenagers as adults.
Okay, but I have this scenario based on a true story.
True.
So this lady, this girl, begahlala kithi, right? So she started spiraling out of control, right? So now the promise, or the threat, not the promise, the threat was that if you don't stop doing this thing, because now it happened a couple of times, if you don't stop, because I've been telling you to stop, you're going to have to leave.
Okay.
And they opted to leave. They actually packed their bags and they left.
And left. Okay.
So what do you do as a parent in that case?
Well, it depends, hey? It depends. In whatever it is that we want to use as punishments or ways of reprimanding or remember to always do it with, number one, with love in it, and with not, how can I say it? It mustn't lead to this child killing themselves, you know. So when I'm going to use the Bible, a verse, because I subscribe to that.
Yes.
There's a verse that says, parents, do not provoke your children. What does provoking mean? Where we now can threaten with, you will leave my house. To where? They're your child. They're your responsibility. So let's refrain from such, because they're not building. We are trying to build. We are trying to build this family. We're trying to build this community. So if you are going to say to me, you might as well take this rope and go hang yourself, and I actually follow through, what was your role in that? Maybe if I'm a twisted thinker, that which you said became attractive to me and I took it. But you didn't think that far. You just thought, no, young to sell, but yeah, you know. So again, I'm saying, as we do this, as we call our children to order, as we try to come up with disciplinary measures from home and whatnot, we should be having a picture of, I'm building this child. Again, dysfunction. We sit where we sit now because our homes are dysfunctional.
Yeah.
Sometimes our kids see this from us. You know, I'm going to say to my child, don't smoke. It's like this, and your lungs are going to be blah, 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 blah. But I'm smoking.
Pull mine. Take your 2 minutes out there.
Yeah. You know, I'm smoking. And am I really, in my sane mind, thinking, they're not going to look at me, they'll listen to me? No, children work the other way around. They look before they listen. So maybe, let's imagine together, if we were not to talk as much, but do good more, what would happen? If we didn't have to drink in front of our children, what would happen? There's this disturbing picture now. Everybody drinks, you know, worse in our townships, you know, and it's okay. We see men and women together holding hands in their savannas, and who's looking? Little children. And the taverns do not control the selling of this. It's supposed to be for 18 years and above. How do 12-year-olds get to have alcohol? Who's buying it? Or rather, who's even selling it to them? But they see it. It's the attractive thing that we're doing. And we are continuously breaking ourselves, breaking this future, breaking these children. You know? We break our communities by sitting back and letting things just happen. What do I mean like that? Here's this family who are struggling with violence, physical abuse, gender-based violence. Udaddy next door knows that husband, this side, keeps beating their wife, but they don't do anything about it. I'm minding my own business. Yes? How is that working for you? Because your children are listening to that lady crying every night. How is you minding your business helping you right now? It is not. Your children play with those kids whose mom has to be crying herself to sleep. What do you think those children say to your ones? Your ones listen. What are the stories that are being shared there? You understand? So your minding your own business only exists in your head. Socially, it doesn't exist.
It's your business.
It's your business. It's your business because you live here as well. One may say, yeah, but why don't they report to the police? But you're here also. And maybe the police may not do anything about it. I don't even want to get into those stories. You know how those stories can go. But I'm saying, as the immediate neighbor in the community, are you saying you don't have a responsibility? You as a man, I think men listen better to other men. So, even during the fight or the beating itself, no, you can't do this thing. What is this man going to do? Think about it. He's going to continue. He's going to tell him, no, Hamba, is it? I think, and I'm sure I'll be corrected. At least, or they don't want to be caught.
Yes.
So as soon as there's a knock and this guy says, dude, no, this can't be done.
It's a wake-up call.
It's a wake-up call, because next time when he feels like he's provoked, because other men say they get provoked. I don't know how that works, But next time when that happens, he's going to think twice before he raises his hand, because he knows, and I don't have to want, I don't want to have to or account to this man and tell me, no, it's because it felt awkward already before. I don't want to put myself into that situation. Do you understand that now, because of Ubaba Uzile, a seed was planted, a seed of better was planted.
And now he becomes cautious.
He becomes conscious of, yes, like, I can't do this. Mama bantana masikhulume ke ngcono angifuni ushabalala zongigogotela. Then we enter into a different space. So our daddies must protect us.
There are kids from the community tour. Where we pete kahle, we pete kahle. It doesn't do. And siyamazi samba naye.
Yeah.
You the parents, you don't know. Siyamazi hamba naye. I feel like a lot of hate that grows from the community, it's also that. As beautiful as it seems, don't compare your kids, or don't, I don't want to say measure them with others, because you don't know. That's the honest truth, you don't know. There are kids, I know there's a kid that I've heard, but mama fire no spend bad. And I look at them today, I'm like, what?
Yeah. And I guess that's a space we must check, Tina Abazali. As you are a parent, just keep yourself in check with that. It's never good to be comparing. You also don't want to be compared to somebody else.
I've seen a quote with my parents comparing. I'm comparing them.
Yeah, but how? Age group. True, hey? Yeah. True. So it's not nice. Comparing is not nice when you must receive But here's the thing now. We must limit those things. So compare muktini. You've got however many kids you may have just in the house before we even go outside. If you have the kids that are the same number as your fingers, they are not the same. But you cannot say, hey you, why don't you do? Because at the same time, if this is not there, this doesn't function well. So we need to have that wisdom as parents to can say, I know they're not the same, and that's okay. And I need to just make sure that everybody uba supported ngalendlela ayidingayo. They will never be the same. Now you're from a family, as a parent, you are not the same with, but let's just teach them to just be better people. Work with them with the skill sets that they have. Help them develop better from the home.
A good functional home. It's everybody's responsibility.
Absolutely.
It's not just the mothers or the dad as the leader, or it's everybody. Everybody has a role to play. Even in the community. But it starts at home.
It starts at home. It has to start at home, because why? If I'm not functional at home, what are the odds that I'll be functional outside of home? Where am I learning this function if I'm not learning it at home? So if I'm a loiterer endlini and I do like nothing really, ngiyakhona ukuphuma ngaphandle ngiyoyenza ngaphandle. A lot of nothing. A lot of nothing can be dangerous sometimes, because then I may actually want to find ways to show people that I'm a good person, and then I pick up izinto ezingekho right because ngifuna ukuthi nibone ukuthi no ikhona into engikhona ukuyenza nami, but then actually awenzi niks wena. No. So let's again as parents build this nest so well that our kids are fulfilled in the house. And fulfillment doesn't come from, no, we have money so we can, no.
Okay, I'm gonna take you way back. You said as parents, as a kid, what's my role?
Yo, honor and respect your parents, hey?
Good to be shy. Then mama.
And this is the danger again about dysfunction. Nguthi makuqala somewhere kuvele ku-trickle level, you know. So it would be difficult to say to a child, honor your parents. The child doesn't see anything honorable.
I've heard that.
And you can't blame them because before. What are you saying? You say what must I honor here? There's nothing.
That's exactly how she asked me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunately the cycle of poverty for one. The cycle of dysfunction. You know, it becomes so entrapping to people, so much that because round ganje round ngokufana. So if I'm standing here and I'm not expected to do good here, but there is nothing good here, how am I gonna keep up the good? And I respect and I say big ups to those people who have managed to pull out of the circle. You know, we speak of the poverty cycle and the dysfunction cycle. Not that everybody who grew up in there will turn out like that. There is a small percentage that manages to pull out.
Yeah.
And there's the generation of people who, I come from the generation here apartheid angazi mina nizelwe manje. But one way or another we are affected by apartheid. But I come from that generation where we literally had to run away from Amaphoisa. You know, we would be chased. We would be playing on a Saturday afternoon, and there'll be tear gas all of a sudden. And now you must just, get home and do. There was a thing that we already taught to can do to keep away the gas. And those people are now parents. We know survival from that, and life has shaped us in a certain way because we went through that. Now we find ourselves having to live a different life, parent a different generation that did not go through what we went through.
Sure.
And we are supposed to make this work somehow.
Yes.
So I have been taught how to clean my face from the itchiness of gas. That's not your struggle.
Yeah.
But I know that.
That's what
You have a struggle of staying off your phone. You can't stay off your phone. Nothing itches from you. You don't even have to survive anything to be breathing. But you need to survive this thing that has entrapped you. You live in this world. You and I have to work together.
Yeah.
I can't parent you just the way I know how to.
Oh, okay.
I need you to say, hey, I also have a role for this home to work. What is my role? Let's define our relationship here. Ma, where have you been? How was life for you guys? Let's learn, When we do that, you are then saying to me, now I understand why you think the way you think. Or even if I don't understand, but I can be human to you about it. I can look at you and not see a mother who's always shouting. Because this mother was always running away from something as a child. Now you're a child, you don't even run anywhere. And and yet you are complaining. You don't have to survive what I've survived, but you're complaining.
You don't even have to survive.
You don't.
You are just living.
You know, I am making sure that you are covered. You are this. You don't see it. You don't see it, but you see me as the enemy. I know ukuthi ebusuku kunjani kuyabulawa wenzani. When you know that no, we go to Gasbanbani and we meet up with our friends. You are just thinking of your friends. I've walked the streets. I've seen the totis. I've seen your walk from that place to home is not gonna be as glorious as the way they're cleaning a corner. You know, you can meet and come across anybody who will take advantage of you. I can see that as an adult. You don't. So that's where the respecting of laba basihambele phambili comes in also. Children must trust their parents, but also parents must have done the due diligence within themselves to can say, what is right here? Knowing what I know, how can I protect my child? So that we do not perpetuate this dysfunction. Yeah, but so do we need each other? Yes. As mother and daughter? Yes. As father and son? Yes. And vice versa? Yes. If we can get the relationships in the house properly, we can go outside and be better friends and be better neighbors. If I care about you, it's easy to care about the next person also. If I care about me, I want good things for me, I can want good things for you because I value you as a human being. And for me, that's what the word says when God says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Above all, love your neighbor as you love yourself. How? I must love myself. And then I can give you the love that you need also.
Can't pour from an empty cup.
Can't pour from an empty cup. So yeah, it's a thing, hey? It's society is broken in many ways.
But I think most parents love using this phrase, yoguti, especially when they want you to go to school or if they're still going to school. Like there's no age. There's no age.
Yeah.
But I think instead of knowledge or school, it should be life itself. If parents get to a point where they want to learn from their kids and not school their kids or not enforce what they know, it becomes a perfect or comfortable communication system that brings a function in the home. Because now as a parent, you are willing to actually listen to me and actually learn something from me. And not be like, no, this is how we do it. Yes.
So I'll tell you where that comes from. We were raised like that. We were raised that, hey, Ambus.
Okay.
I tell you and you do as I say. But also they were probably raised like that. And. Now, we are living in different times. We have different challenges. And it requires everybody to catch the ball when it's thrown to you. You can't... If I throw this ball and I threw it badly to you, and you almost missed it and we bambesole, are you going to give the same throw there? You're not supposed to. You're supposed to throw better there, you know. So, I think as a people generally, we need to again task ourselves to can say, I'm aware of my surroundings. I can't live the 1978 life in 2023. Life does not require that of me. Life requires me to play ball as ball keeps rolling, you know, so that I can equip the next generation better. So we can't keep holding on to, no, this worked, and there are those things that we don't have to change because they work, you know. Values, I think values are one of the things that we should not change.
Yeah.
You know, but there's things that we should change. you know, as life keeps changing.
Not everything has to change.
Not
You just
everything.
add on.
Yeah. Just do it differently. And traditionally, if you were to go into the cultural way, the whole thing, yes, izovuleka ngenye indlela lento lena, you know. But I think one of the things that we can even bring in as society or community brokenness would be just sitting down and having indabas about culture. You know, how amalobolo, as much as we don't have to be changing amalobolo, or we can't do away with amalobolo, but let's come back and say, hey, basics. What was this again? Can we explain this again to ourselves or to even the next generation so that it doesn't get misused? Anything that is misused, into understand why there was a very good reason for amalobolo. But as it stands now, the whole thing has been blown out of proportion. It's being misused, and until you find people who are saying, "Hi, yes, there's no use," or just get married to a white person or to a colored person, because you don't have to go through this. But that's how we're going to be losing our culture. But we could still fix this by, can we just redesign or just have this chat again? Find where did we lose what?
You even find that even the parents don't even know.
Yeah?
Because these conversations just never happen.
Yeah, because if we are not saying awubuzi, you just do. But it's wrong, awubuzi. Because how are we going to teach it to our children?
Yeah.
We must ask the questions.
Understand. You must know.
We must ask the questions and we must get the answers, which are then leading to learning. So, going back now to imfunda igugelwa, yes, imfunda igugelwa, but that's imfunda yesikolo kuphela engagugelwa. Learning about life is a lifelong journey. You are continuously learning. So let's learn the right things so that we can have a better future. If you can learn, then you can also teach.
Yes.
So fundisaneni, see, and teach our children. Teach each other as women. Teach each other as dads and you know. So the same ongoing training as we can do it in our communities.
Yeah.
We can. I still want to say Babli gone though.
The Babli must go.
I still want to see. Here's what they don't
tell you.
Maybe they don't tell you, or maybe it's there, you're supposed to go find it. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, but this information is there. Maybe the Babli generation is not ready to hear this information. I don't know. But research shows that Babli is worse than cigarette. It's not me. It's research. I didn't do the research.
Habli.
Did I say Babli? Oh, Habli.
I even helped you. I said Babli.
Babli is actually chocolate. I love that chocolate. Habli. Yes. It's worse than cigarettes. And I don't have to say the facts now, but you can Google it. You know. In this interview that I listened to, there's a professor from Wits, and they've done research on nicotines and all of those things that just harm our bodies. And this professor says, it is said that we will not see this generation, this Habli generation, we will not see them in the next 20, 30 years because their lungs will be gone. And no one is saying anything to these people. The fact that a 12-year-old is using this. Even 9, my word. Give this person 20 years. It means by the time they are 35, they'll either be having lung cancer or throat cancer, or they'll be gone. If they are not gone and they're not having this, they will not be functional. They can't work because they'll be on some oxygen or some inhalant of some sort, because they would have done this to themselves from now on, going that way. So now you tell me, where are we 30 years from now? You see, no one is stopping them. You can buy this anywhere. Hell, it's alcohol. But near Pabli, there's not even an age restriction. Wow, my word.
Happy.
Hubly! You know?
You love your chocolate.
Oh, I love. But yeah, with the Hubly, there's not even nothing. A 12-year-old walks in and buys the flavor. Nani, there's coals on it. They have to burn that and they sit
Charcoal.
there, charcoal, and they sit there and they look like, this is so good. It feels good. Please stand outside and look in. That looks deadly. That, my child, is death. You are dying. I should be saving you from this.
There's one
You know what I
pastor
mean?
who said if hell had a picture, it would be how smoke looks like.
Yo, can you believe that? You know? So, can we fix our homes?
Yeah.
Can we start it at home? Be accountable to the way we speak to each other, the way our children are behaving. Can we not feel helpless as parents? You know, the way we treat our neighbors as a community. Nje, when somebody is dead and killed somewhere, and can we as a community worry about it? You know, the way she's leading our corner, and soon enough, I'm sure this will just lead us to a better country.
A better place.
Yeah, to a better place where we don't even have to keep involving the government, because that's another one.
We always want to blame the government.
We want to blame the government. The government cannot do anything about how you run your home. And we have allowed the story, or we've allowed our kids to go and say, no, I have rights. Yeah, you have rights. Guess what else you have? You have responsibility.
Ta-da!
But no one speaks of the responsibility. You know, it's our responsibility to keep our locations, townships clean. No, we want service delivered. Really?
Yes.
Who threw dirt there? As far as saying,
Bad.
no, somebody from the municipality must be dispatched to come sweep at my pavement.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Inkinga zethu siyofika nini ekulungiseni ukuthi wonke umuntu abe negrant kahle.
Oh, come
Sihlula
on.
istrati sethu. Siyachitha laphayana. Oh, I'm sure if we could hold hands, we could build this. We could fix this brokenness. But then who wants to take responsibility? No, service delivery first.
That's my
Deliver for yourself, my sister.
Okay,
Deliver.
okay.
Deliver.
Okay, for
Yes.
yourself first.
For yourself first. Yeah.
Well, I guess that's it on community. Are you aware that it just went back to self?
You see, Mar, it always goes back to self.
So I can only imagine how a beautiful world we could have if all of us checked self.
Yeah.
Like, because everything is just taking you back
It
to.
starts with you. It really starts with you.
Sure.
It really starts with you. Good life starts with you. Clean life starts with you. Good politics starts with you. I see a politician, but it starts with you too.
Heavy.
Play your role. Play your role. Yeah.